NFC West, the most frustrating and the bright side of each team, said by you guys, the fans. We're just telling you what we heard. And I'll tell you what, the San Francisco 49ers losing the Super Bowl wasn't the most frustrating thing of the season. Stick around and find out what it is. I know you're interested, so stick around for 7 seconds.
You can do it!
What's up, zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard Youthful, coming at you live from the West Coast, and this is the Fantasy Red Zone. This is some crazy times, Jason. We were just talking about this. This is the craziest year that we can remember. This is like the NBA. Last season, dude, if you remember this correctly, Jason, they really pushed free agency. They're like, this is going to be the craziest free agency we've ever seen. Just wait for all the big moves. Adam Schefter's getting hard-ons in the corners. In the corner somewhere. Some corner. Okay. And man, nothing happened last year. And holy shit, Jason. Like, we had that, and everybody's saying it's because of this salary cap increase last second. Thank Taylor Swift, Jason, I guess, for the big increase for this free agency frenzy, man. Dude, I totally forgot to write down one of the biggest moves, dude. As soon as I said Taylor Swift, I was like, holy shit. Rondale Moore went to the Chiefs. We'll talk about that in a second. Before we talk about all that, dude, let's get into how you can help this show, because we need it. Come on, man. Subscribe, goddammit. It helps us so much. Let's go, Jason.
It does. If you guys made it this far, you guys please hit the subscribe, press the like. We like the likes. Leave us a comment. Let us know the most frustrating thing and the bright spot on your favorite teams. Let us know. It's our research. It's our job. We're also on the radio on Spotify of the Fantasy Red Zone. Check it out.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, so tonight, Jason, you're drinking, right? I can't tell if I'm hot or cold, man. My parents are here. It's like, my house is usually like 62 degrees. It is now 72 degrees. So like, I'm like, I can't tell what's going on, dude. Throwing my equilibrium's off. But hey, tonight we're drinking. I'm drinking Bud Light, Jason, for the first time since.
That's how you know the parents are in town.
They were out at 8:05, and I was like, don't worry. I was like, I don't want to get wasted anyways. It's like 4%. They can make this shit taste better, Jason, for being 4% alcohol.
You know, I do like the Bud Light Lime. I am a fan of the Bud Light Lime.
What was that shit, dude, when they came out? It was like premium or platinum? That was actually pretty good.
Premium, yeah. Or platinum, yeah.
That came in those metal bottles, man. Everybody was all about for a while. Woo! Anyways, we're drinking, if you can't tell. And that's good, man, because we're going to get into the news and brews right now. That'd be kind of fucking stupid if we didn't have any brews with the news. Jason, dude. Keenan Allen. I was hot and heavy for Keenan Allen, man. Me and JJ Zacharias were like, oh my God, dude. I got to have you some Keenan. Dude, he got traded away. I think this is a great move for both teams. I probably would have kept Keenan Allen if I was the Chargers. But they are in position to take a top-tier wide receiver, Jason. So Keenan Allen, they got rid of both of their super injury-prone. But what do you think about Keenan Allen maybe pairing up with Caleb Williams and DJ Moore to make like one of the best wide receiver duos in the league?
That's the first thing I thought about. Or I was thinking
in sync, bro.
In sync. No, the first thing I thought about when I saw this news, I was like, well, Justin Herbert, bye. You are definitely off my radar now when it comes to fantasy football. And I saw this move as just like, I think Jim Harbaugh is more of a, hey, let's rebuild this son of a bitch. Am I right? Oh, let's rebuild.
We got a fourth-round draft pick, Jason, for a guy that is only going to play maybe 2 more years and gets injured half the time.
Yeah, I think it's a great move for the Bears, right? I mean, like, they have DJ Moore, so it's not like Keenan Allen's going to be the number one. Keenan Allen's going to be put in that slot. He's going to do his thing. He's going to play his 13 games and whatnot, but he's going to help out Caleb Williams for sure. I'm just like so shocked at what are the Chargers doing? What are they doing? I don't know. Like, are they going to go after Joe Alt-Delete?
That's the big question, Jason, is are they still going to go tackle? Or I think if Neighbors falls, they will probably go for Neighbors they could trade up, dude, and get Marvin Harrison Jr. and say, fuck this. And that'd be pretty amazing too. So I don't know. Joel, there's like really like 8 good tackles, Jason. There's those 2 top of the line wide receivers. So it just kind of, they could trade up or they could stay put and take that tackle. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. And then it goes with the Bears, because the Bears were, Daniel Jeremiah was saying for the 9th pick, they were going to get Roma Dunze. I don't think that's going to happen now that they got Keenan Allen. So what focus on the O-line, maybe go defensive player? It's like, this is the whole thing, man. It's that one player, that one trade, it just has my brain like warped, bro. It's warped out of here.
Dude, you can get Caleb Williams, number 1 pick, then get yourself an offensive lineman. You already have the wide receivers. You got Cole Kmet, and then, dude, that defense was playing top 3 last year at the end of the year. So they're going to find out real fast if Caleb Williams is a bust or not, Jason, with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, and if they invest in the offensive line. So
yeah,
I actually like what the Bears did. And Jason, I was talking about Jim Harbaugh doesn't want to throw the goddamn ball. So yeah, trade away your wide receivers, man. And I was off. You know, people chastised me for saying that I did not want Herbert at his ADP next year. Well, now everybody's saying the same goddamn thing. So yeah, Herbert will probably be, Jason, like a new Jared Goff, you know, just kind of get you the points, but not that high of a ceiling and shit like that.
Yeah, his 2 wide receivers, Quentin Johnson, who had a bum year last year, and Joshua Palmer is the other.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it.
He likes Joshua Palmer. Joshua Palmer might be an amazing pickup, Jason.
We gotta see what happens, dude.
I know.
We gotta,
but
this is insane.
There's gonna be one wide receiver that's startable from the Chargers. You got to figure out which one that is, okay? Because it's not gonna be a big enough piece of the pie, Jason. And Jason, dude, did you see this? The Jets expected to sign Tyron Smith. So all in for the Cowboys, dude. I thought they were gonna re-sign this dude. Figure it out. You know, keep this guy a Cowboy for life, Jason. I am sure the Jets are overpaid because they're like, fuck, dude. Yeah, we'll draft offensive line, get Tyron Smith in here. We're going to talk about, you know, maybe a vice president in a minute. But Jason, to protect Aaron Rodgers, I think they might be going all out overpaying for Tyron Smith. But how do you feel as a Cowboys fan, man? That's a huge loss.
Yeah, you always said that he looked like Megatron out there with all his robotic arms and legs. He does get injured quite a bit. He's a good player, right? He must have come from a great college for how good of a player he is. But he's on the market, and they need to protect Aaron Rodgers, man. So, what was he? Is he 33 years old? 33?
Dude,
36?
he's old as shit. But I think for 1 year, dude, like I think he could protect Aaron Rodgers for 75% of the games for 1 year. And we're going to see, dude, if the Cowboy, how Dak Prescott does without Tyron Smith for the first time. Well, he does pretty well because he doesn't have him a lot of the time. But still, Jason, I think that's a huge loss.
All the Cowboys are doing are losing all their players.
Yeah, dude, going all in, Jason. Kenny Pickett to Philadelphia, Jason, for a pick swap. Did you see? Apparently, he did not want to compete with Russell Wilson for a fucking starting quarterback position. He got pissed. He was like going ape shit, apparently. Said, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you. And they're like, dude, he did not want to dress, Jason, week 17 when they had him as a 3rd stringer. He's like, I'm not dressing, dude. I'm fucking Kenny Pickett, dog. He reminds me of Kenny Powers, man. You know?
Yeah.
And so anyways, dude, they got rid of him for what? I think they had I think it was like a 4th round pick or something like that. But to Philadelphia, and Philadelphia was interested in Justin Fields, but they did not meet on an asking price, so they went with Kenny Pickett. I would have paid the extra for Justin Fields, Jason.
Yeah, this was also, they're all, Kenny Pickett got trade. And I read like the little, caption underneath that, and it said, after the Steelers signed Russell Wilson, Kenny Pickett asked for a trade to move on. Motherfucker, you're still going to be a backup. Like, the situation did not get better for you.
Send him to Tennessee, man. Let him back up that dickhead.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, dude, this guy, what happened?
Kenny Pickett, dude. So, I mean, they said he's the most NFL ready to start. It's almost like Mac Jones. Remember Mac Jones? He's the most NFL ready, but his ceiling's really low. So the last two guys I've heard that about, Jason, not good.
Yeah.
All right, man. Aaron Donald retiring. Kyler Murray tweeted out, "Thank God." So Aaron Donald, man, could have played for 5 more years and still dominated. Good for you, Aaron Donald. You got your money. You're going to be famous for the rest of your fucking life. You got a Super Bowl, your Hall of Fame. Dude, Jason, the first year he was All-Pro and Rookie Defensive Player of the Year. He was All-Pro every year since then. So, yeah, dude, one of the best. We always want to be like, man, I wish I was around when Reggie White was playing or this guy was playing. So we got to see one of the very best of all time, Jason.
Yeah, and when I got that text from you, the first thing I said was like, this dude was still dominating. Like, you're right.
Yeah, you did say that.
I will never forget the first time I actually saw this dude was on Hard Knocks for the Rams, and he was playing ping pong with no shirt on, and I was like, dear God, who is that? I need to know, so if I end up dead for some reason, I'm blaming him, because that dude was
just Black Eddie Hall, dude.
He was like, bam, dude. His ears like touched his shoulder. There was like no neck.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like a Black Eddie Hall, but Eddie Hall can't move like that.
Yeah, he was a very talented player. Good for him, though. He got it. He got his ring. R.I.P.
Dude, one of my favorite football players of all time, probably. So, and Puka Nacua was just telling a story about him, how he kicked him out of the gym, pretty much. Move again, move one more time. It's all right, bro. Okay. Anyways, the Vikings, Jason, they trade with Houston to get another first-round pick. I think they have 11 and 23. So, guess what, dude? We got rid of our quarterback. I was saying, now, is it going to piss me off if they trade way up and get some dickhole that I don't want? I want them to wait for Jason. Who's the guy from Washington?
Oh, Phoenix.
Big Penix. I'm all about that big Penix energy, Jason. And, yeah, so I'm hoping for that. But, hey, man, we are probably going to trade up for a quarterback. Mock drafts were all the defensive ends and shit, edge rushers. But, hey, man, I bet you money we're going to get a franchise quarterback, get rid of that old dude. I mean, I love Kirk Cousins, and they could have won a Super Bowl with him, but, man, they overpaid for him. So, yeah, how do you feel about that, Jason? Do you think they're going to get a quarterback?
Oh, yeah. If you're making moves like this, if you're making a splash like this.
Yeah, 2 first-round picks, and then a first-round pick next year will get you maybe top 3.
Yeah, they're going after a quarterback. There was a little... I thought they were going to get Desmond Ridder for a second.
Dude, I would have been so pissed. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, dude. We drafted Desmond Ridder last year, pretty much. You think it's funny shit? You think that's funny shit?
Yeah, just like the conversations of like Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, in the sports card world, the biggest guy in there is like, Desmond Ridder, you have to invest in. And it's like, and he'd end up being so fucking wrong. It's like, how the fuck do you know anything about sports, dude? Invest in Desmond Ridder? Oh my God. All right, Jason. Garoppolo to the Rams. Just want to point that out real fast. I was wondering where he was going to go, dude, because there was nowhere for quarterbacks to go. I think that's actually a good place for him.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford hasn't had a full healthy season in a while, so he's going to get some playing time. But with Kyler Williams, if he's healthy, he's just going to continue to get the ball with Jimmy G back there.
Oh, dude, yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo wins when he throws the ball fucking 11 times or under. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, Jason. Calvin Ridley to the Titans. The Titans are all like, oh, we don't want to pay fucking Derrick Henry, but we'll pay Tony Pollard. We don't want to pay A.J. Brown. Calvin Ridley, bring your ass on up here, dude. So, yeah. Who's running the Titans, Jason? I don't know, but they probably should not have a job very much longer because they're fucking up, dude. Let's fire Mike Vrabel. Let's do all these fucking stupid moves, man. I think they have had the worst offseason of the offseason, or whatever I'm trying to say.
Yeah, did you see? I saw something that they want to pay A.J. Brown, but then they go ahead and pay Calvin Ridley damn near close what A.J. Brown was like asking for. I'm like, you guys got your priorities messed up. You got some goggles on with some water in it. You can't see straight, homie. You can't see.
Remember, Jason?
We
took some health class and they had drunk goggles in there and you had to put them on.
Yeah.
Which is like 0.8% alcohol. It's like they made that shit like you were hammered drunk, dude. Mm-hmm. I could I can see way clearer than that in 0.8, man.
I was like, I could do that on a Friday night, man. I don't need to do it on a Tuesday.
All right, Jason. The next up, this is the last thing. Aaron Rodgers talking about running for vice president. Do you remember when this fucking asshole, Jason? I was all out on Aaron Rodgers, and he was doing all the right things in the preseason. I was like, you know what? I think I'm in on Aaron Rodgers again. Then he started opening his goddamn mouth again, Jason. And I was like, oh my god, dude, what the fuck is this guy's problem, man? He thinks he's a superhero. He thinks he is standing up for every man out there in the world. And now he's gonna run for vice president. Jason, he was like, I need to eliminate everything in my life that's not football related. Now he's talking about running for vice president. So I don't know what the fuck is going on here. But if I was a Jets fan, man, I'd be like, dude, red alert, dude. Red alert.
I need him to speak for me. Aaron Rodgers. You know, I bet if he became vice president, dude, I bet you he will mandatory outage across the world for 4 days, once a month.
Oh, like a power outage?
Yeah, and you have to be in your room with no lights and just be there and think about all the things you've done. You know what? If his brother votes for him, I might think about it.
If you get your dad's vote, Aaron, I mean, come and talk to me. But I would like the UFO coverage that he would provide. He'd be like, everything's out there. They're on the moon. They're in the ocean. They're in our brains. Blah, blah.
I'm one right now.
Well, fuck, dude. That's exactly what I thought. Thank God. I'm right.
Yeah.
All right, Jason.
I got
Are you ready for this? What'd you say?
I got a news that I want to.
What is it?
Marquise Brown went to the Chiefs.
Shit, dude. That's the one. I was like, thank you. Yeah. And everybody's pissed, dude. They're like, great, dude. You guys fucked up. You guys, thanks, Cardinals. You went and gave Mahomes speed again. God damn. You fucked up and went and gave Mahomes speed again, Jason. They're like, do you remember when like Mahomes like would just get a ball and you're like, what's going on here? Then all of a sudden he would just unload like a fucking 70-yard bomb. And then you knew Tyreek Hill was going to be open, and it took a long time for that camera to get down there. Yeah. Jason, dude, it might happen again. Or is this a McCall Hardman clone? Which one is it?
I don't know. You know, I saw a lot of Marquise Brown games last year. Even with Kyler Murray, he did not look good. He did have an injury. He had a heel injury. But right now, I think he's going to be more of a boom or bust player, if anything, because I don't think he's going to like replace Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice is going to be a second year in that system. Do you think he's going to replace? I see that look.
Well, Rashee Rice, I think he does that different shit. Like I think that Rondell Moore is just going to be that deep threat. Like so, all that shit that like I think his name was Justin Watson and Marquise Valdez-Scantling was getting last year. They drop the ball or do terrible shit. And that's going to be I think that's going to be not the Rondell Moore, the Hollywood Brown. So I think that I would rather have Rice, Jason. You're right, because he's going to be like that Debo, where the other guy's going to be the Ayuk, and then they're not going to use Kelsey that much, dude. I'm telling you, do not get Kelsey. He's going to be great in the postseason, Jason, but next year, man, here's another target to go away from him. So, yeah, I'm. This makes me more out on Kelsey. I would take a deep flyer on Hollywood, but I would much more. I'm much more on Rice than Hollywood, if that makes sense.
Yeah, me too. Especially in PPR.
Yeah, good point. Okay. We're going to start with the bottom of the division, Jason.
We're going bottom this time?
No. Actually, do you have number one? You have the top, don't you?
Yeah, I got the Niners.
Yeah, I want you to talk first. So, let's go. All right, guys. So, we're going to go over I think it's the NFC West, Jason? Yeah, NFC West.
Yeah.
I get all the goddamn games. I'm sure Jason does too. We're on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, this if you look at the odds, Jason, for the Super Bowl next year, you know who's in there? The 49ers. So, let's hear about them.
Okay. All right, they were 12-5 last year, first in the division. Hey, they made it to the Super Bowl, but they lost. So, out of the frustrating things and the bright spots, obviously losing the Super Bowl after having the lead is very frustrating. Some fans were afraid that a lot of the veterans on the team show their age in 2023. A different scheme, maybe, on offense that gets Brandon Ayuk more involved, like Ayuk actually had a good year, consider his volume. This dude had 75 receptions on 105 targets. That's 71% catch rate. With if I remember right, his average depth of target was 17 yards.
Damn.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous. And he had 7 touchdowns and 1,300 yards receiving. In the Super Bowl, he only had 3 receptions on 6 targets for 49 yards, while Debo had 3 receptions for 11 targets on 33 yards. That shows that they were basically trying to shun him out, and they were more focused on getting that ball to Debo Samuel. That's all they were trying to do, and it wasn't working. But the San Francisco 49er fans say their offensive line was the biggest frustration besides Trent Williams. The 49ers pass blocking win rate was 20th in the league at 56%.
Damn.
What is crazy is that percentage, 56%, is combined with Trent Williams' individual passing block win rate stat of 96%, which is
Dude,
the
he
best
is
in the league.
96%.
His is 96%. Number one.
That's
Best in
crazy.
the league. So if he did not have that, their pass block win percentage will be even lower. Pro Football Network had the O-line ranked 15th overall. And they wrote, it would have been worse without Trent Williams. Apparently the fans have noticed the line getting worse of all the years and over the years, and Kyle Shanahan has not addressed it. They hope the Super Bowl is kind of like a wake-up call, and he's going to go and address, like, you know, the offensive side on the right side. Now, you think the bright spot would be Christian McCaffrey having an amazing year, setting or tying the record for the most consecutive games with a rushing touchdown. But the fans said that the brightest spot of the San Francisco 49ers season was Brock Purdy returning after injury and improving that was basically the brightest thing to watch for the 49ers. And like Purdy didn't hit a wall or fall off a cliff, but instead improved on his 2022 season. Purdy finished 8th in PFF passing grade and he also had 31 touchdowns. That was 3rd in the league. 69 completion percentage. And he was that was tied for 1st in the league with Dak Prescott, and only had 11 interceptions. He also finished 8th in PFF ranking with big time throw rate, and he led the league in yards per pass attempt at 9.6, and it was 1st in expected points added per drop back at 0.292. On passes 10 or more yards, he had 20 touchdowns and 6 interceptions with a passer rating of 133.6. It's amazing. And let's not forget about he was running for MVP until the game against the Ravens, you know. There's still a lot more to say about this, but Tyler, I could keep going on. You won't have any time to speak, so I'll just end it right there.
Oh, no. Hey, man. I'm looking at, because you know what's funny? Because the most frustrating thing for me when I watch those games was their defense was either dominant or they gave up so many yards, dude. And I was like, I wonder I can't remember when that Hufanga guy got injured. Hufanga, Jason, he was like their all-pro. Like, dude, he was like one of the best players on their defense last season in 2022. And then he came out and he was killing it for the first couple of games, tore his ACL. And now I'm watching, dude, he went to USC. Did you know that? He was born in Corvallis, which is where I went to college, Oregon State. So
I didn't know that.
I think that's pretty cool. He's only 24 years old, Jason. And they're talking about he might get replaced or traded right now. Like, that's the hot news. And I'm like, dude, I felt like he was such a huge part of this defense. Like,
wow.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like he had 7 interceptions. I mean, like last year, pretty much, dude. I don't know. I think that that was a huge deal. Like, between Hufanga, the injuries, and the new defensive coordinator, that was, when I watched, that was the most frustrating thing to me. But then you told me about all that offensive line shit and everything. That's crazy too. But yeah, this bright spot is obvious, Jason, because I had Purdy ranked as like quarterback, I don't even know, dude, 13. Finished the season as quarterback 8 or 7 or 6. I don't even know, dude. He was like a top 5 quarterback for a while, Jason. So
yeah,
that had to be the bright spot. I mean, how else can that be? Who's shining brighter than that?
There's only 3 quarterbacks to throw over 30 touchdowns this year: Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy.
Dude, if you bet that shit, you would have won $1 billion.
$1,000,000,001. Yeah.
So yeah, dude, 49ers expected to be in the Super Bowl again. Jason, their roster's so good. They're still not paying Brock Purdy. They got rid of Sam Darnold. So as long as Brock Purdy's healthy, man, I don't see anything changing.
They just need to improve that offensive line, apparently. Get better pass blocking.
All right, dude, this is one of my favorite teams coming up.
I know.
Right now, Jason.
That's why I gave this one to you. I'm like, Tyler's going to enjoy this.
Well, hey, dude, this team right here overachieved. I forgot to look and see who the coach of the year was, Jason. But I don't know. This guy, I mean, there was a couple examples. But yeah, Stefanski, that's right. I think that this guy should have won. As much as I like Stefanski, he's from the same branch as McVay, the Shanahan tree or whatever like that. But dude, Jason, 10-7, man. And that was with they just fell off a cliff for a while there. They were second in the NFC West. I can't remember. I don't know if they won that game versus San Francisco when I told everybody to start Puka Nacua against the 49ers. I can't remember if they won that game or not. But dude,
that week 2?
That was week 2.
The Rams won.
Yeah, I was I'm pretty sure I watched that game.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody was like, holy shit. The Rams are for real, Jason. And dude, McVay with the talent that he had, you saw they had 2, I think, all-pro guards, but but they're still piecing together this offensive line, man. And McVay for finding offensive linemen that would work, that was huge. And then finding Puka Nacua, I think in the 5th round, Jason. Oh my God, man. So, and then Kyron Williams, dude. So this team underachieves so much. Nobody believed in this team, Jason. You and I got the waiver wire pickups of the year off the same team. And that only happens when a team overachieves. Huge surprise, man.
Yeah.
So, dude, I can't remember of a time that I was more impressed with coaching job than this. Let's see. The bright spot for the fans and everything was McVay's explosive offense. Because ever since, I think it's been a couple of years, Jason, where he was the offensive guru. Everybody was copying him. That faded to the back, man, for a while. At least that 1 year, because they were so bad. But everybody was all talking about, Mike LaFleur's offense or this offense. McVay, dude, was back this year. Everybody was talking about McVay, and his rookie class was a bright spot, Jason. That was probably his biggest bright spot. The rookies are killing it. And another bright spot was they made the playoffs when they weren't supposed to. So that's what all the fans were saying. To me, it was McVay coming to his true form again, because he's an offensive genius. And I don't think that he was given free reins, or was it? I don't know. Whatever was going on, dude. He was not. He was talking about retiring, and then he came out and they said they were going to empower him more. And you see what happened. The worst, Jason. The special teams is dog shit since Fassel left. I don't know who Fassel is, but that's what the coach. That's what maybe Jim Fassel. I don't remember. But dude, I checked it out on special teams. They grade this shit out. Kick returns worth this many points. This many points. It's good. They were the worst special teams unit by fucking it was 480 points. The next step was 400 points. The best special teams unit in this algorithm was 200 points. So they were so bad. PFF, I think, had him ranked 31st out of 32 teams. So, dude, this team was so efficient on offense. Their defense was insane, dude. It was almost like Kansas City. They were locking people down, dude. But the special teams, people forget about how important that is, Jason. So the reason that they lost a lot of games and we're in it, and I did not pay attention to this in the Lions game because they were pretty much the favorite to win in that wild card game, I think it was wild card or whatever it was against the Lions, Jason. So I need to see how the special teams performed there, but it could have cost them the game for all I know. I wasn't paying attention to their special teams. So their special teams is dog shit. And other than that, man, I love the Rams. I'm going to invest heavily in the Rams next season as well, probably.
Yeah. Me too. They were definitely a fun team to watch this year. I was scared. I drafted Cam Akers and I was scared. I was scared when I did it. I talked about it. I was not.
Did you trade for Cam Akers? You didn't trade for Cam Akers.
No, I had him. I drafted him. Saw what Kyron Williams did, and I'm like, bro, I need to get Kyron Williams. Snatch that mofo. And then I did trade him away.
That's what it was.
I trade him away to a guy who had Alexander Madison, and then Cam Akers eventually went to the Vikings, and he had both running backs from the Vikings. But yeah, I'm actually surprised that the brightest spots weren't Kyron Williams or Puka Nacua, man. Puka Nacua, I did have Kyron Williams on my team, but he was fun to watch. I couldn't believe half the stuff that he was doing out there, and it was like, who is this guy? What, round 5 in the NFL draft? Who? What? When?
They have to do that. They literally have to hit on all their picks because remember they said fuck them picks. That's how they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jason, like I said, one of the bright spots for them was the rookie class. That was like the second voted. So it's like first was McVay's explosive offense. Second was the rookie class. Third was made playoffs when they weren't supposed to. So the rookie class, like he headlined that rookie class. There was a lot of defensive players, I think, in that rookie class.
Yeah, a lot of people expected them not to do well after the year last year. What, they won the Super Bowl, then they dumpster fire the next season. McVay was like, I'm going to go be an announcer with Chris Collinsworth. And we're like, bro, no, don't do that. Come back. Let's give you some draft picks. Come back. And, they turned it around, and they were like a dominant team last year.
Yeah, and if you remember that Aaron Donald said he's going to play until Sean McVay leaves, and now you see Sean McVay's probably in it for the long haul. I'm sure they had a conversation.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Aaron Donald's like, "Fuck you, bro. I'm not going to stay around for 5 more years." So, all right, Jason, that is it for the Rams. The Chargers and them are going to be battling for eyeballs in LA, and I expect the Rams to be better for the next year, maybe 2, but I do expect the Chargers to overcome them, Jason, because Matthew Stafford will eventually give out, and they're going to have to, I don't know, man, they're going to have to get another top 10 quarterback to compete with Justin Herbert.
Yeah. They got Jimmy G.
They got Jimmy G, man. What are you talking about? He's a top 10 porn star effing, bro. I wish I remember the porn star he was doing. I was like, man, that shit's crazy. Okay, anyways, I did her once in my mind. That was a long time ago when I was a kid and I didn't mind all that plastic surgery crazy shit. All right, Jason. Next up, bro. I'm saying bro a lot because I got to pee. That makes me, when I pee, I got to say bro.
Let's go, dog.
Who's the next person?
Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, I got some shit to say. I got some serious questions about this team too, man. So let me know about it. I want to know what you think.
Okay. They were 9-8. Third in the division.
Oh, winning.
A frustrating that they had was time of possessions. Time of possession. They were ranked 32nd in the league in time of possession. In 2022, they were 31st in the league and 32nd in the league again in 2021. So they don't hold the ball much. And it's difficult to do a lot of production when the offense is on the field, which means the defense is on the field more, getting more tired, giving up points, getting injured. That's a frustration. I can understand why. You're in the bottom 2 for the last 3 years. That kind of just blew my mind. Fans believe they had games that they should have won. Seahawks lost in the red zone to the Bengals, a missed field goal against the Rams, and bad calls against the refs at Dallas. They could have easily been 12-5 this year or last year. Also had injuries to the offensive line with Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas. But
Lucas!
I'm your father. Come here. But the most frustrating things that the fan voted for was Pete Carroll. After 2022 season, the Geno Smith playing like Optimus Prime out there, fans were excited to see what 2023 would be like with Kenneth Walker and Geno Smith in the system for a second year. Plus a newly added weapon with Jackson Smith-Njigba. Now, I remember when they drafted him, I was just like, dude, they just gave another weapon to Geno Smith. Like, Seattle's going to be insane this year. They're going to be crazy. Well, the fans believe week 1 set the tone by getting dominated by the Rams, who they thought was going to be garbage last season.
I watched that game.
Yeah, that's the game that Kyron Williams took over. And I was like, I got to give me some Kyron Williams. Seattle, they said Seattle couldn't bounce back after that. They said it was too heartbreaking. It was too And, it was also a home game. It was in Seattle. Yeah, they had some wins, but fans expected more. And believe Pete Carroll, zebra gum eventually lost its flavor and he had to go. The bright spot for Seattle was no doubt Devin Witherspoon, without a doubt.
Did you make that up?
Yeah, I just made that up. The zebra
The
gum,
zebra gum lost its fucking flavor.
Because he's always chewing. He just finally lost his flavor, man.
Dude, you should be a fucking columnist, man. Seriously.
Okay. So the bright spot was Devin Witherspoon. And I'm just going to give you some stats. This is to show his domination that he had last year. Yards per reception allowed was 9.1. That was 9th best. And he was 13th in pass breakups. He only had 30 receiving, or he only gave up 30 receiving yards a game. And his toughest assignment of the year was CeeDee Lamb, and he held him to 63 yards and no touchdown. I think CeeDee Lamb did score a touchdown that game, but Witherspoon was not on him. But he just like straight up dominated. You could tell when you were watching those games and you see him cover wide receiver, he was just like on them, like on their ass, like white on rice, dude. He was just like on them. The most important stat out of all this, Tyler, is that he is a rookie.
Yeah, and I don't know if the other cornerback was a rookie as well, but there was a couple weeks on PFF, dude. I was paying attention to Twitter, but they were the top graded cornerback duo, and I think that's Pete Carroll, because I think Pete Carroll is. I know he's a defensive guy, but I think he might be specializing in the secondary.
Yeah.
So he did them a favor for getting that fixed.
It was Witherspoon. I want to say the other guy was named Tariq. It's like Turiq.
Man, I thought it was something else. I thought it was something else. I wish I could remember what it was.
No, I could be wrong. I'm top of my head. I'm just.
But dude, hey. So the thing about the Seahawks. I mean, I was a Kenneth Walker owner, and I think that the DK Metcalf to Geno Smith was like if that was more like a 60-something%, like they would have been in a completely different position. But Jason, Dave Canales was Geno Smith's, I don't know if he's offensive coordinator or quarterback's coach when Geno Smith broke out, right?
Yeah.
Went over to Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Did the same
Baker
thing.
Mayfield broke out. He had a literally Geno Smith type season, like the same season. And now Dave Canales is up in the Panthers. So I am as concerned as we are about Baker Mayfield continuing on his success without Dave Canales. I'm just wondering if this was like more of a Dave Canales thing going on with Geno Smith.
Yeah, maybe. And now that he has him back, and now he's going to be running an offense.
Yeah, and Shane Waldron is now going to be coaching. He coached Geno Smith last year and did not do a good job. And got Andy, now he's going to be coaching Caleb Williams, got the fucking primo job over there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting. I was just thinking about that. So, yeah. Who are we talking about again, Jason, real fast?
Seahawks.
Oh, the Seahawks. Yeah. So the Seahawks with their two running backs, their decent offensive line. I feel like they're the same team every single year, Jason.
Yeah, they couldn't finish games last year. The offense did not live up to the year before. Couldn't close games, couldn't win games, and they ended up 9-8.
Yeah, and now their coach is Matt McMillan, correct, from the Ravens?
I don't know. Is it?
I think he is. Or Mike McMillan, whatever his name is. But he was the defensive coordinator, so we're going to do our whole coaching carousel show and all that stuff, what you need to pay attention to. But depending on the offensive coordinator there, I think it could work out. But I do not want Geno Smith anymore, Jason, as my I think that I'm not going to be investing into Seattle Seahawks, dude. Because what are you going to do? You're going to try to get fucking Kenneth Walker with Kenneth Charbonnet all in it? Or are you going to get Charbonnet with Kenneth Walker all in it? Or are you going to get, these wide receivers might be priced high still, Jason. What's his name? It took a lower contract. Tyler Lockett is still going to be there. So they got 3 wide receivers, man. Jackson Smith and Jigba might never break out. So they're kind of one of the biggest mysteries fantasy-wise. Like them, maybe Washington. So I don't know what to think about it.
Their head coach is Mike McDonald.
There you go. So yeah, that is the game. There's so many fucking McDonald's and Mike's.
I know. I get them all mixed up. And Tyler, the cornerback was Tyreek Woolen.
Woolen. Thank you.
Woolen. Tyreek Woolen.
I want to say it feels like I don't know. Once I heard it, I thought I'd know it. Woolen. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
Did you use your new keypad or your typewriter
Samsung tablet? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
For the show. For the show.
the
Please
show.
subscribe. I'm in debt. Please subscribe. I'm in debt.
Please subscribe, man. We don't got no money. We're giving all this money. All right. Jason, we're going to talk about the Cardinals. Are you ready?
This was the only team Seattle was able to beat in the division last year. Was the Cardinals.
That's a good. I did not know that. I was not able to do so much research because my parents were here talking to me. Watching the X-Files, Jason. The first season of the X-Files is insane.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking crazy, man. Like every 3 episodes is just god-awful, but those other 2 are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Jason, all right, the Cardinals, man, we're 4-13. Last in division, they got a new coach. They got Rich Gannon, I think his name was.
Jonathan Gannon.
Jonathan Gannon. Rich Gannon is maybe an old quarterback. I can't remember who Rich.
He is for the Raiders.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. 4th worst record in the league. So they've got the number 4 pick right now. They are projected to get Marvin Harrison Jr., which would be amazing for this team. They just traded away Hollywood Brown. They brought in. They traded for a lot, to get that college connection with Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is going to be the quarterback, Jason, for the next 5 years, probably. The way they did that deal and everything. And Kyler Murray is a good, he went super professional this last year. I actually like Kyler Murray now. He went from a dickhead to actually a professional quarterback. So, hey, I'm in on him. I think the best stack, Jason, for 2024 season is going to be Kyler Murray and Trey McBride. I think that's going to be the best stack.
Yeah.
So let's go over what was the worst thing about this team, Jason. According to the fans, it was the obvious talent differential every single week on defense. And we did this, man. There's I think PFF has like the highest graded rosters, the lowest graded rosters, all that shit, dude. Arizona was on the bottom of everybody's list by a mile. So they had the least talented roster heading into the season. And yeah, dude, when you watched it, like all you could think of, man, they played hard. They fought hard. But it was obvious, dude. Like their talent did not match up. Like their talent was not there. And that was like, even when I watched that, like I had to watch a lot of these games, man. And it's like, yeah, dude, their cornerbacks can't cover. Their offensive linemen need to fucking do better. It's like, but what's there? I already knew the roster was terrible. And when I watch it, it makes sense. So I thought that was the worst. And Jason, they gave up the second most points in the league at 27 points per game. The Washington Commanders gave up like 32, which is insane.
That's crazy.
But yeah, the Cardinals had a defensive head coach, Jason. That was, well, so did the fucking Commanders. But this guy was a first-year defensive coach. So he actually had to, make a difference. And that Gannon dude did a good job. So for what they did, they had the worst team in the league. They gave up the second most points. So that was the worst thing. When you watch that game, there's no way they can win, Jason. They're just bleeding points. Like, it's hard, dude, when you're playing the right defenses and you're not fast enough or you can't tackle. Shit like that. And so the bright spot, Jason, I just hit on this, was coaching, dude. So look at the Eagles. They lost Gannon. They're fucking – it was like D'Amico Ryans with the 49ers, man. Like, their defense went to shit. And they lost their offensive coordinator, shit, dude. Anyways, he went to go coach what's his name?
Shane Steichen.
Shane Steichen. Thank you so much, Jason. And I think that I view them almost similarly in talent. And you know how big of a Shane Steichen fan I am. So Gannon, dude, for a defensive coach, is amazing. And you saw that, man. Like, they'd have some awesome wins, man. I think it was the Steelers. I think it was against some, like, dude. They play some teams hard. I wish I could go through and sorry, guys, I didn't have the time to research because my parents were asking me 1,000 questions.
They beat the Cowboys.
Dude, it was the Cowboys. And, like, dude, like, once Kyler Murray came back, they started winning fucking games, man. Like, and James Conner, Jason, was getting, like, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like, that defensive coach put his print on this offense as well, man. Like, they ran the ball, dude. So that's great. It was like the Eagles. So I think that the coaching was it went from a from a whatever team, like you didn't know your identity. They knew their identity, man. They played hard on defense and they ran the goddamn ball. And Kyler Murray would just keep the play alive. It ended up looking pretty good sometimes. But like I said, dude, they have no talent. So this is for them. And when you listen to the fans, they said this is the best case scenario for a team with a top 5 pick. That is not really the case, because the best case scenario is when you trade some asshole and you end up, with like the Bears really should be like I think number 7, and they've got the number 1 pick, Jason, or something like that. Or they're supposed to be number 9. And they got the number 1 pick because they traded for it. So that's not the best case scenario. But for a team that deserves a top 5 pick, Jason, they've got the coaching right. They've got their quarterback. They drafted some offensive line last year, but they're going to build through the trenches, man. And I think that the arrow is pointed in the right direction for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I want to say that they beat the Cowboys in the beginning of the year, and then they beat the Eagles at the end of the year.
Shit, yeah, I remember that, Jason, because I was like, I think I remember that because remember when Seattle played the Cowboys super hard, and then this happened. We're like, we need to start paying more attention to like ex defensive coordinators going to their old spots or whatever.
Yup. Yeah, and you mentioned how they were just a team with no talent, right? They didn't have a lot of talent on their team, and then their most talented players missed the majority of the season, James Conner and Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray didn't start till after week 10. James Conner missed some time, so it was like they had nobody. They had Trey McBride, but I don't think they really used him a lot in the first part of the year. But yeah, so they need to get some talent. Michael Wilson needs to stay healthy.
You're so funny, Jason. I was like, you notice I didn't say one of my favorite players.
Oh, yeah. He needs to stay healthy. And I do believe by not bringing Marquise Brown back or getting another wide receiver in free agency that they plan on getting Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, dude. And we were just talking about the Chargers maybe trading up or trying to get, another wide receiver. Nobody's going to get between this team and Marvin Harrison Jr. Jason. So
yeah,
and with him and Trey McBride, dude, and if they're going to invest in the trenches because this guy is like a defensive coach from the Eagles when they were all about the trenches. I could see the Cardinals. They're in the toughest division, almost one of the toughest divisions, but they could be challenging 49ers in like 2-3 years. I think.
Yeah. I can see
that. As soon as they start paying Brock Purdy, they might start challenging him.
Yeah, can't afford other people. Yep.
Yeah, so Cardinals, I think, are going to be a hot spot for fantasy value next season. There's going to be a running back that gets like 18 touchdowns, not 18, maybe 15 touchdowns, and there's going to be a wide receiver that gets hyper targeted, Jason. So, and there might be a tight end that does the same damn thing, and Kyler Murray might be a top 10 quarterback. So. I think that this is going to be a place to find. I'm going to be hitting up Arizona Cardinals in my fantasy drafts next year.
Yeah, and like I said, you could get value because you're probably not going to find them early in drafts.
I'm all about that value.
Yeah,
we're all about that. Hero running back strategy next year, and drafting rookies and fucking people on. Just try to get those values, man. People that are going to miss 3 games, like Alvin Kamara or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, people, that is a show. That is the NFC West. If you have, a bright spot on one of these teams, a bad thing on one of these teams, let us know, man. So we can know. We want to know. We want to talk about this shit with you. We want to be involved in your life. Let us in. Jason, hopefully we earned a thumbs up. Hopefully we earned a subscription, man. Like I said, we need that shit. We're in like, hey, let's get 3 subscriptions this month. Let's get more than that off this video. Please help us, God, please. And you could help us. You are powerful, more powerful than you know.
Right.
Jason, please send us out before I lose everything.
With great power comes great responsibility, viewer. What was it? Oh, Tuesday. Well, what are you thinking, Tyler? Are we going to do the free agent winners or losers?
Yeah, because, now I've got good ideas on what teams I want to target and what people I don't. So, and by the time this weekend's over, yeah. So, My parents are leaving Monday morning, so I'll have all Monday to research if I don't play video games.
Okay, yeah. So we'll probably come out with maybe the loser first. So I'll talk to you in that video. Deuces.
This is the Fantasy Red Zone, and we appreciate you.